There are few things that are easy in German. It has grammatical cases, gender, highly irregular plural. You either love it or you hate it. But there's a topic that is actually quite easy and won't take much time to cover. And that topic is German diphthongs. German what? Tag an alle, my name is Florian, I have been a German teacher for almost a decade, and this is the third video of my pronunciation series. Last time we covered all German vowels, their length and their quality, but what happens if you combine them with each other? Well, that is exactly what a diphthong is and what I'm going to talk about in today's video. And this is where I have some good news for you. German only really has 3 diphthongs, 7 if you're super nitpicky. But since I'm kind of a perfectionist and I want to show you the entirety of German pronunciation, we're going to cover all 7 of them. But before I get ahead of myself again, let's start with the 3 main diphthongs. And to visualize what's happening inside of your mouth, I'll pull up the vowel chart we used for the last video as well. Alright, the first diphthong is I, like in price or right, and it's produced by the following letter combinations: EI, EY, AI, AY. Here are some example words: Ei, weiß, nein, Seite, Seite, Hai, Mais, Kai, Geysir, Bayern. And finally, the German surname Meyer can be spelled in 6 different ways, which all sound the same. The last 2 are the Southern German or Austrian varieties. As you might have noticed, the combinations EI and AI are way more common, as we don't really use Y all that much in German. Now, if we take EI and reverse the letters, we get IE, which looks like a diphthong at first glance, but it's actually just a long E sound, like in team or feel. Some examples are fliegen, Spiel, hier, Ziege, liegen. However, make sure to pay close attention to the difference between E and I, as there are some pitfalls lurking in the dark. Biene is a bee, but Beine are legs. Riechen is to smell, but reichen is to be enough or to hand somebody something. And of course the classic, schießen is to shoot or to kick, and scheißen is to shit. There are, however, a few instances where the E is pronounced separately from the E. In these cases, the letter combination IE makes this sound, ihr, basically E followed by a schwa. Serie, Studie, Familie, Folie, Arterie. But watch out, the following ones are just pronounced with the long I. Kopie, Energie, Theorie, Genie, Melodie. I have no clue why that is. If you know the etymological history behind these 2 sounds, please let us know in the comments. Anyway, let's move on to the second true diphthong, au. Similar to the sound you make when saying round or loud. Unsurprisingly, this sound is produced by the letter combination au, like in blau, sauber, Haus, bauen, Ausgang. Pretty intuitive, I'd say. Now, turning A into A umlaut, completely changes the sound and gives us the third of the main diphthongs, oi. It's very similar to how you say boy or oyster in English, but instead of landing on an open I, boy, you land on a rounded Ö, which is the short Ö we talked about in the last video. So just say boy, but keep your lips rounded during the diphthong. Here's a direct comparison. Boy, 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 boy. This sound is produced by the following 2 letter combinations, EU, as mentioned before, as well as EU. So this is not a euro or euro, but Euro in German. Actually, 2 Euro. Here are some more examples. Europa, Freund, neu, Leute, teuer, Gebäude, Säule, häufig, Räuber, träumen. Additionally, this sound often occurs in words where au in the singular is turned into oi in the plural. Das Haus, die Häuser, die Maus, die Mäuse, das Kraut, die Kräuter, der Zaun, die Zäune. Alright, that's it for the 3 main diphthongs. Based on my personal estimation, these make up around 95% of all German words, so they are very important to learn. But for those of you who already feel comfortable with them, we can move on to the 4th diphthong, ui. Kinda similar to how you pronounce gooey or fluid, this diphthong is only used in a handful of words. It appears in a few interjections like pfui or hui, and in the words ruhig and Uigure. The last 3 diphthongs all stem from foreign words that have entered German and whose pronunciation is still retained by native speakers, albeit a bit Germanized. Thus, the 5th diphthong in our list is a, like in fake, email, baby, gamer, lame, or interface. It's basically the same as in English, just with a little German pronunciation. The 6th diphthong comes from English too. O, as in code, soul, the music genre, show, home office, or roguelike. This sound is a bit rare in German and is often replaced by the long O vowel, especially by older people or Germans who can't speak English that well. So they might pronounce some of the words like this: code, show, or home office. The 7th and final diphthong for today stems from the French pronunciation of OI, which is wa. Fun fact, in Germany a person is considered to be very educated if they are able to pronounce this sound, so stuff like croissant, accessoire, réservoir. But if you have lived in Germany for more than 5 minutes, you know that my people say croissant, accessoire, and réservoir, much to the desperation of our French neighbors. And that's it. These are all the diphthongs we have in German. Now you might raise the objection, wait, didn't you mention in your video about vowels that the German R at the end of a syllable is realized as a dull A, thus creating another 15 diphthongs? Yeah, kinda. But this is nothing you have to worry about for now. I will explain what exactly happens in this circumstance in my video about the German R further down the playlist. As far as diphthongs are concerned, we are done. But are you ready for a little exercise? I will blend in a few sentences that you have to pronounce. You can then stop the video, and after a few seconds, I will read them out loud. Here they are. Herr Weiden hat dazu Beispiele aufgeschrieben, damit Sie die Unterschiede dieser Reime begreifen. In der Serie geht es um die Theorie einer Studie, dass das erste Kind in einer Familie das Genie ist. Ihr müsst euch heute äußerst genau auf eure Hausaufgaben konzentrieren. Im Code gibt es einen Bug, der den User das Interface nicht öffnen lässt. So, thank you very much for watching. Since we've covered all vowel sounds and diphthongs now, we can finally put the 8 German vowels aside and move on to consonants in my next video. If you like this type of content, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if there's anything left unclear. I always read all of your comments and I'm more than happy to help. Also, massive thanks to Ron, Ivan, Elaine, Adrien, and Paul for supporting me on Patreon. People like you help me focus on things I really love, which is finding new and interesting ways to teach German and make videos for you guys. If anyone else is interested in additional exercises, vocabulary, Anki decks, and behind-the-scenes materials, feel free to check out my Patreon, linked in the description or in my bio. See you soon and haut rein!